everyone, it's Laurie. I hope this video finds you all well and happy, and if you're in the northern hemisphere, I hope you're staying warm. It's absolutely freezing. I have a little space heater that just turned on. Hopefully it's going to turn off in a second. There we go. I had to go to a doctor's appointment this morning and it was 3 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. It's super cold. So today I'm going to do day number 2 of Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot. And the theme for today is the top 5 tarot decks of 2017. I picked hopefully 5 decks that I don't think I've talked about too much before. In no particular order. No, it is a particular order. I'm going to do them in chronological order. The order in which I got and or used them. I think I need a drink of my tea. I think this is Tulsi tea. My very favorite for this weather is turmeric. Don't have any of that, so I'm drinking my holy basil tea instead. Okay, so the first deck that I got way back at the beginning of 2017 was the Aquarian Tarot. In January, I happened to see this on, I think on eBay. Yeah, I think it was under $20, including the shipping. I was really thrilled. This is probably a late 70s, early 80s deck. I don't keep it in the box because the bottom 2 cards will always stay trapped in the box and then I can't get them out, and I keep them in a cute little bag. Everyone's seen it. It's such a beautiful deck. I started to use it in January and then I was still using it by spring, and I thought sooner or later the novelty's going to wear off on this deck, but it didn't. I just love it. I think if I could only have, you know, a handful of decks, heaven forbid, this would definitely be in my top 5. It might even be in my top 3. The next deck, and that is the Vision Quest. I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. Our dogs get very offended when other dogs walk in front of the house. You've probably seen the Vision Quest Tarot, but maybe you haven't. I don't know. First of all, the court cards are all renamed. So kings are fathers, and queens are mothers. That's the mother of air. And knights are sons, and pages are daughters. And obviously this has a kind of Native American theme to it. A lot of the majors are renamed as well. For instance, this is Judgment. It's renamed as Spirit Guide. The Tower is renamed as Chaos. The Devil is renamed Torment. Strength is renamed Life Force. It's a great card. This is the Chariot card. Chariot is my birth card, so I'm always interested in it, and I found this interesting. Even though this is a very still picture, you have the white horse's skull that he's holding, as well as the dark living horse, so you still kind of have that duality there. And then you've got movement up here with the eagle flying overhead. That's a beautiful, beautiful card. Here, the Shaman is the Hierophant. Isn't that, look at that wolf. Isn't that something? And just, you can get lost. Grandfather is the Emperor. You get lost in these cards. The Empress is called Grandmother. Medicine Woman is the High Priestess. Medicine Man is the Magician. And the Fool is called the Clown. And here he's shown with the coyote. In a lot of Native American stories, the coyote is the trickster. My kids were really into trickster tales. And these are super beautiful cards. This is a really nice deck. So, okay. The next deck, okay, for me this was like my holy grail deck. It's the Aura-Soma by Pamela Matthews, the new Aeon bottle backs. And I really wanted this deck for a long time, and I just put it off, and then the deck went out of print. I eventually was able to find it at a metaphysical shop in the Netherlands, and I emailed back and forth with the owner of the shop, who was a lovely human being, and she sent me made sure I got the right deck and sent me the deck, and I got it just in time for my birthday, so it was a really fantastic birthday present. Bottle backs. Yeah, it's just such a beautiful deck. I like to use this deck along with the Farbinder Angle, which is the deck that I had been using for Aura-Soma. I started getting really interested in Aura-Soma work and was able to find this very inexpensively on the internet. And the Farbinder Angle deck is based on all of the bottles. This doesn't really count as one of my top 5. I'm just explaining it in case people don't know. She took pictures of every single Aura-Soma bottle shaken up. So you shake them up and then she would take a picture. And then she would see, she was taking these pictures before digital cameras, she was taking them with film. So then she wouldn't know what picture she actually got until the film was processed and she got the pictures back. How cool is that? And so she did that with each bottle. And so I was using this along with some books that I had ordered used really inexpensively. I was kind of putting together a little inexpensive kind of way to use Aura-Soma without having either the bottles, the decks, or the bottles or the bottle back decks or anything like that. And that actually worked very well. So then when I got the actual tarot, and I have a little short video of this on my Instagram account, I laid out every single 100 and some bottles in order. And then beneath them, I laid out every single card from the Farbinder Angle deck that shows the shaken bottle right beneath it. And I laid them out on all the table surfaces that I could find in one room of my house. Then using the system that is taught in Aura-Soma and that's written about quite a bit on the internet, you can find how to choose your 4 bottles. That I chose my 4 bottles, and then all the different members of my family that were interested in it also chose their 4 bottles. And so then we read about the bottle and we read about the card, and then they made photocopies of the bottles along with the shaken bottle of all of their cards for them, so they could kind of have them to, you know, if they wanted to do color work with them or energy work or whatever. So this is a tarot deck, and you probably already know it's also got archangels in it, and ascended masters. And so it can be used as a tarot deck, it can be used as an oracle. Next in order, I was planning on spending the month of November doing the Into the Wildwood with Kelly from A Truth and Story. I bought the Wildwood Tarot. Now, I did buy that deck when it was like $6 on sale over the summer, so I had already had it. And I was all set to do that. And then in October, I discovered the Deviant Moon Tarot. I'll probably talk a little bit more about this in a couple of days when I do the book video on the top 5 books, because I got the coffee table book for Deviant Moon, which has gigantic images, and I absolutely changed everything that I thought about this deck. Changed in one day, the day that I got that book and read the whole book. A way that I could understand my brain that I hadn't understood before. My whole life I had nightmares. My whole life I've had sleep paralysis, and it was just kind of something that I worked through on you know, different levels with self-help books and with my trauma therapist and things like that. And then when I got the Deviant Moon and I started to read about how the deck came about and how it is a world that is half awake and half asleep, it suddenly all started to make sense to me. And it started to be a way that the part of my brain where that happens, the part of my brain that is sometimes dissociated, that is sometimes split off, or the part of my brain that is subconscious or unconscious, or being in that dream state. And if you've ever had sleep paralysis, I mean, even if you've just had it once or twice, you know, it's a very frightening and can be kind of a debilitating place to be. And this is something that I have had every day for as long as I can remember, since I was a wee little girl. And so discovering the Deviant Moon deck was like a way for that part of my brain that isn't always accessible to speak to my conscious brain here so that I could know what's going on back there, what's going on in all those things I don't remember all the way, or I only remember them part way, or dreams, you know, that you only experience partly, that don't completely make sense and you don't really know why. And I discovered that this deck had the ability to talk that language, the half asleep, half awake language. And so then I spent October and then all of November. I love this one. I love this one. This is my inner teenager. She's this witch, this young witch in the Seven of Pentacles, if you ever have a chance to read what Patrick Valenza has written about it. Yeah, this is my inner teenager right there. And I feel like that sometimes. That's my, you know, anxiety attack. Inner anxiety attack, outer anxiety attack. Yeah, just, I can't remember what I was even saying right now, but I just couldn't put the deck down. Used it all the way into, I think, well into December. Journaling and other things like that. And so 180-degree difference from what I thought this deck was about and from what I thought about this deck. So it's been great. Okay, last one is, I haven't had much of a chance to work with this deck because I think I only just got it at the beginning of December. And it is the Pamela Coleman Smith Rider-Waite Smith Tarot from Los Scarabeo. And I did order this from, it came from somewhere in Europe. I think I ordered it on Amazon. But it came from somewhere in Europe, and it took a really long time to get here. And so I learned to read when I took a really, really long course on learning to read tarot, and I'm glad I did. But the course used the Radiant Rider-Waite Smith for reading, and one of the big reasons was because it's so detailed. That particular deck is really, really highly detailed, and because everything's redrawn, you can really see all of the details well. So you can see clouds, you can see colors, you can see light, and the little newts that are, the fire newts that are in all of the, or a lot of the wands cards and things like that. And so it was important to be able to have a deck that had a lot of detail in it. But it isn't my favorite Rider-Waite Smith version. And so I got the Centennial, which I liked better, but it was missing the detail. And it was missing the color variation, and the color palette is beautiful. I really like the vintage color palette, but it's kind of samey, you know? And so then when I saw this, I believe it was Simon. I've seen it a couple of places. Simon had it, and Pat Althena had it. And they started kind of going through the cards and showing the cards, that I realized, ooh, all the details are in there. Look, you can see the movement of the clouds. These hurry, hurry clouds echoes the hurry, hurry of the Knight of Swords who's charging off into battle, and he doesn't even know necessarily what he's going into battle for. He is just going. All the detail in the, you know, here's this kind of barren wasteland. Got this wand that's blooming. And he's looking at it like, I've got a wand. We've got, you know, more cloud movement here and a bird. So the detail in these, I felt like was the perfect, made this the perfect Rider-Waite Smith deck that I have seen so far. Because the coloration is beautiful, the drawings are beautiful, the details are great. Very easy to read. Color palette is varied but pleasant. I'm super happy with this. So I haven't had a lot of time to work with it, but I really did kind of want a, you know, the perfect Rider-Waite-Smith deck for me. And I think this might be it. I've got a sword. I love pages. My sister, they're always like, I've got a cup. I've got a pentacle. They're so awesome. Okay. Oh, this is really long. I hope I can edit it down to be shorter. That's it. My top 5 tarot decks, I guess, that I haven't talked about yet. And now I've talked about them now on my channel for 2017. I will see you tomorrow for my top 5 oracles. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.